I have here with me in the studio Jed Clarke from the Father's Tables Church. Welcome, Jed. Great to have you here.
Good morning.
Oh, pleasure. And we've got Rick with him, our General Manager, who'll be just asking him a few questions and see what's happening with the Father's Table. Rick was telling me about it before. It sounds like an amazing, amazing church. Such great outreach.
Fantastic.
Oh, wonderful to have somebody out there doing so much for the community.
Very blessed to be part of it. Very blessed.
Yeah, I just want to, I guess there's a little bit of a challenge there. That Father's Table just gave us $500, and you guys are always really strong supporters of what we do here. Now, I know your church is run on a shoestring.
Yep.
Many of your people are unemployed, homeless, doing it tough. You're up in that Wyong area where things aren't that healthy, but yet you guys always pitch in. Really want to appreciate that and thank you for that.
Yep.
So I know a lot of your guys up there do listen to Rhema, and
they better be listening this morning.
You have told them. So just give us a little bit of the 3-minute sketch of what the Father's Table is all about and how you operate.
Father's Table is all about love. Mm-hmm. It's about loving people that don't get loved. Mm-hmm. It's about, in Matthew, where Jesus says about feeding the homeless, clothing the naked. That's what the Father's Table's foundation is. John 13:34, I now give you a new command, to love one another as I have loved you. That's without condition.
Yep.
So the Father's all about, we do twice weekly we get together. Friday night we do Peach from the Park. Great support from Peach from the Pan in Wyong. They help us make that happen. And Sundays we do a very street-level church. It's a church designed for people that normally wouldn't go to church. It's not for everyone. And then followed by a lunch, a community lunch, where we'll have, week before last we had 90 people turn up.
Wow.
And it varies between sort of 50 to 80, 90, and it's about connecting people, listening to people. It's a very draining church. When you've got a normal, so-called normal church where you've got, half a dozen people who've got problems, we're dealing with everyone's got problems. There's addictions, there's abuse, there's family breakdown, there's all that sort of thing. So but it's an environment where we're very blessed as a team. Got an awesome team. Like really, the handful of people that run this ministry is amazing. To where we can come together and just love on people and not judge them by what they've done in their past or anything like that. We can just accept them. And because we've all got pasts. I mean, my past isn't a great one either. You just got to look at the post office walls and my photo's up in most places. So
I think they've taken it down now.
Yeah, they've probably taken it down now. I think 8 or 9 years have been with the Lord might have recovered that. Jesus died for that.
Amen.
But the thing is with the Father's Table, it's but we've got people that come in with mental illness, with addictions, with family breakdown, and you just love on them anyway. And for some people, it's their only thing they do each week, where they feel part of a community. And that's making people feel like they belong. And it's not about it's not about shoving God down their throat. It's about showing God through our actions. And then when we get the opportunity, we shove God down their throat.
Once they're listening.
Once they're listening, it's either, have you heard the word, you heard the word of God? I don't want to hear, okay, well, how's the football going? That's what Dave, the co-pastor, does. He's great with connecting with people.
I've got to say, I've been up there a few times and visited you guys up there, and it is an awesome thing because you have you've got your team that are very involved, and then you've got the sort of the next circle of people who are in. And then you get the ones standing out in the veranda, and they're sort of looking in the window. They're not quite comfortable enough to come in yet, but they're still out there. And I know you've got a clothing ministry with them. You've got food hampers you give them, and eventually, by loving them, as you said, and by exactly what we're talking about this weekend, being the change, being different, showing God in a different way to maybe they've seen before. Eventually, they move inside the building.
And sometimes they don't. But God's not in the building.
Well, he is, but he's also outside.
But he's also outside. You know what I mean?
It's not just in the building.
You know what I mean? It's taking God outside that room. But they do stand and they do listen on the outside, and some will come in, but some won't come out. So we take God out to them, and we can just talk about and demonstrate God's unconditional love, and it's just a great opportunity for all of us. As you said, we've got the through lack of a better term, the inner circle, which is the people that run the show and volunteer their time.
The team.
But then the team, and I'm very fortunate in being the team leader. But we're all on a level playing field. We're all on the same page. There's no blips in our little radar, if you know what I mean. We're all equal. I just happen to be the one that's responsible if we get in trouble.
You get the job of being up the front at times.
I'm the one that goes to court, but hasn't happened, thank God. But then we've got these wonderful people that are coming along that their lives are changing because they've gone from coming for a meal to serving a meal. And the meal is just the means. It's the means of connecting to people. Whilst we might be feeding people's bellies, a lot of people come because they just want to be part of a community that actually gives a rat's. That actually cares about them. And so we see some of those people now. We've got some great people that are eagerly serving. And through eagerly serving, their lives are changing. They're getting employment, or they're finding a home, or so many different things.
Fantastic.
Jed Clarke from the Father's Table Church up at Wyong, and we're just about to ask him about how it started and where he came from.
Just the short history, how Father's Table came about, because it's a fairly unique church, at least within our area. I know there's similar churches around the country and that, but probably the only one on the coast quite like yours. How did it all come about? And coming up this July 6 years ago. As you know, I was going to the church that you were going to, the old Tugger Lakes Church, and I was connected through a church in Newcastle, Kev Wilcox, and through Ausreach, and he spoke to me about a couple that were trying to start something in Wyong, and asked me to come on, me and my wife to come on board with them, which we did. And established the Father's Table, got given that name by God as we're driving home, and they left after a period of time, not too long, and my wife and I took it over from that point. So we've been going for a bit over 5 years since then, and it's just amazing when God tells you to move, because as you know, at TLC, that was my family, that was my home. I wasn't going anywhere, and but I met my beautiful wife there, and when God prompted us to move, it was an absolute definition of moving. Initially it started off as a breakfast, which I didn't think was a good idea, because I'm not going to get up early for sausages and things, but changed over to a lunch, and since then it's just been going from strength to strength, and the people that come along have become family. We've been able to support people in really hard situations. We've been able to hold the hands of people as they passed away, and people that otherwise would have been alone. So it's really about a community spirit and a family spirit. My wife and I get called mum and dad by some people, and other people called uncles and aunties. And so over the past 5 years, we've just always left it in God's hands. Do you want us to move? Do you want us to make it bigger? Do you want us to do this, that and the other? And the answer is always no. I want you right where you are. Because it's very personal. We know everyone's stories, and gradually, as you build relationship with people, they will slowly open up to you to what's happened in the past. And as I said earlier, we've all got a past, and God seems to bring people and connect people whose pasts are similar. We've had similar journeys. So you can share with them. I can share my story with people, or other people can share their stories with them, and we start building this relationship, and supporting them in any way we can, whether it be to try and find a home, or to get their car registered, or just lots of different things. But we just encourage people that nothing is unforgivable in their lives. They don't have to live with guilt and shame. You come here, you get a hug. It doesn't matter if you're smelly. Who cares? Jesus hugged the lepers. So I can certainly hug, or we can certainly hug someone who maybe hasn't had a shower for a while, or whatever. But that's the way it is. It's unconditional. So what are the challenges facing Father's Table at the moment? I mean, every ministry has its challenges. What are you dealing with at the moment? Where could possibly people help out in a way?
One of the biggest things I think would be prayer, always, for the team. When you're dealing with most churches, you've got a few people who've got issues going on, or family breakdown, or whatever. But we're dealing with the whole lot of people that are 60, 70 people on a Sunday, plus the Friday nights. They've all got issues, and it can be very draining. It can be exhausting. We're also, because we're not in full-time ministry, we're working full-time jobs, some of us. Doing food preparation at home before we go to work, and things like that, and going to work straight from the Father's Table, But and some of our team are suffering major health conditions.
Right.
We've only got a handful, 8 to 10 of us that are the core team, and some of those have got really serious health issues that they battle. So prayer would be one of the greatest points at the moment, and I'm not going to ask people for money because we want people to support Rhema at the moment. but once June is over, once you get to July, contact Rick at Rhema if you want to give, but give more now because this is more important. No, this is equally important.
I think it's... Something we're trying to get across this whole weekend is we're all in this together. We're all got different ministries, we're all got different churches, different outreach efforts, but we're all actually on the same team.
Exactly.
And we're so much stronger when we're together. When we're actually helping each other, not tearing each other down.
Exactly. And it's all about trying to be more Christ-like.
Yeah.
It's not about religion.
Yeah.
Because religions cause damage over time. I heard you on here yesterday with Dan, awesome bloke. Met him last week. Yeah. He came up and did some filming with us.
Oh, nice.
What a lovely bloke he is. Yeah. Coast Community Church and their appeals, they are so supportive of us, you know. We connect with them and we connect with Lakes Baptist, Mike Jones and the crew up there whenever we're doing a birthday party at Christmas. His team's there with food and things like that. Now, we all perform our ministry in different ways. Yeah. If we were to try and take what we do into their environment, it probably wouldn't work. And if they would
and
bring theirs, I can guarantee it wouldn't work. So as long as we're all on the same page, that we're teaching the unconditional love of Jesus, we're teaching that nothing is too big to be forgiven, and we're teaching that you can and you do deserve a better life, then we're on the same page.
Now, mate, fantastic work you're doing up there. Certainly not for everyone, but you're doing it well. You and Sue have been hanging in there through some tough times. I know there's been some personal costs in that, and I just want to give glory to God for what you're doing, mate, because I know He put you there. Because
well, He's put us out the leaders, but one of the amazing things is how God puts together a team. Whilst I might be at the front and Dave might be at the front at times, and I'm the team leader. As I said before, there's no blips in our radar. The team members, Jean Ann, who she's got health conditions. She's amazing, and Diane and Margaret and all the team, and Bryce and Sue and everyone is fantastic. And that's what when you mentioned before about everyone being on the same page, we are all so much on the same page that it's an easy lead if you're all on the same page. And what we need to do is a church community across the whole coast is to be on the same page. And that is loving Jesus and doing what He asks.
And it's not about hierarchy. It's all about everyone working to their calling, their giftings, their strengths, and just plugging the gaps that need to be plugged all around us.
Exactly. When God assembled the team at the Father's table, He assembled a fantastic team. Each one had a different gift to bring to the table. And that's what we've been able to embrace. And that's why for 6 years we've been able to run with a core team of 8 to 10 people, because everyone's on the same page.
Just to wrap up, times and places. Where do you meet? When do you meet?
Right on Town Park, opposite Coles, in the old school grounds there, the neighbourhood centre. We rent a couple of rooms up there. Friday nights, pizza in the park. With Pizza in the Pan support. I'll plug them again because John is awesome.
We'll let that one go through.
Too late to beep it. So we do Pizza in the Park. Starts at 5 o'clock. Pizzas come at 5:30. They're gone pretty quick, depending on how many people are there. Especially if I'm worked all day, I might be hungry. And Sundays we're there from 9 a.m. but 10 a.m. we do a very street level church. As I said, it's not for everyone. It's fun. It's good fun. Not to say other churches aren't fun. But we do that 10 to 11. 11 till 12 we have a kids club. Do arts and crafts and things like that, plus social time. And at 12 o'clock on a Sunday we provide a lunch, and it's well received, and just come along and connect with people. But it's in the Wyong Town Park, corner of Allison Road and Rankins Court, in Wyong. As I said, opposite Coles there, and it's just a great place to be.
Thanks, Jed. Appreciate your time coming in. I know you've just come off a night shift, so you're looking a bit jaded around the edges, but you'll go home and you'll feel better in the morning.
I'll go home and see my wife, and I'll feel better straight away.
That'll be good. And again, thank the guys up there for their generous gift. Really appreciate it.